Okay, in this section, the final plugin we will customize is going to be your HTML editor. Now, we Tiny MCE is that plugin editor, and we just love this plugin simply because it allows us more robust features when creating content. So, with that said, we want to go to settings, and what you will when you hover above the settings on navigation panel, you will go down and you will locate the Tiny MCE advanced editor. You want to left click on that. And what you will be faced with is how your uh, editor for your post pages, etc., looks now. And then the additional options down here that are offered by the Tiny MCE plugins. Now, what we want to do first is understand that all you have to do is hover above this, whatever piece you want to use, and just drag it to rearrange. And you do what's best for your particular website, but we're going to show you how we set up ours to create content. So we drag the font size up. And the next thing that we always want to go and grab is once we hover down here, there are some things that we have to absolutely use. And one of those things is the font family. So we drag font family, and as you can see, we want font size, obviously, and then we want the font family up here also. So next what we will do is we will go across and we will remove things that we don't necessarily use. So we're going to take out, for our purposes anyway, the strike through. We absolutely love the bold, italicized, and underline. We love the bullet list. We'll leave the numbers list. We don't need the outdent, or certainly we don't need the indent, so we're going to remove that, but we always want to leave our left, right, and center justification tabs. We always use the link, inserting of links. You just highlight the link and then put the link in. But what we don't use is the remove link, simply because this is just a feature that you could just delete the word and retype the word. So that is just, in our opinions anyway, unnecessary and unnecessary space taken up a feature. Now with this, the style, some people use this, so we'll leave this up here. We don't necessarily need these page break features, so we drag those out. The next thing that you will have to decide is whether you not if you need the spell check, but at the end of the day, is this the spell check button you would like to use, or there's another spell check button down here that's a little bit wider and a little bit more visible. We use this. So, and we don't necessarily need the search, so we'll drag that out of there. We don't use the full screen mode, so we'll drag that out of here also. We will drag this, now that we're working on the second line, we'll drag the paragraph up, and you can see our larger bars we put here. So as we go down, we don't need to paste text, because that's just a left click copy and pasting feature, and it's just taking a space. We don't need the paste, we don't need that either, because that's also just a word feature that we use. We don't ever want to remove any formatting, because we do that manually to set our posts up correctly. We don't use this feature, so we'll just go ahead and drag out those things that we don't use, and then we'll get back at it. So with our text color, what you want to do, we do find this necessary sometimes, is you want to keep your features the same. For instance, these are two text issues, or two text editor issues, so we put those together as with the font and the font family. So background color, yeah, some folks use background color. We don't need smileys, and we'll just drag the rest of it out. This feature, inserting movies, again, is just a simple it's just as simple as assigning it from your media file or embedding code. So we don't necessarily use that. We always use these. These are great, which is your undo and your redos. And then this is not necessary. And just because it's a beginner course, we'll leave the help button here. Now, when we go down, what we want to realize is that there are other things that we need. For instance, we do want to include our justify. We do want to include the justify feature here because we have a line left. We have certainly a line center and a line right, but we also want to use justify just in case we need it. One thing that is absolutely critical also is we like the styles button because it allows that, but critical to our strategy anyway is the use of tables. So this is actually the our favorite feature anyway of this tiny MCE plugin. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that receives its prominent place. Now for the rest, you just want to scroll over here and left click, hold down, and then drag it up if you personally need. And we'll just scroll over them just so you can understand. And anchor, this is for anchor text, but we'll in our CO series we actually show you how to more easily do it than this feature. So far we've set up our editor, and we'll go ahead and we won't worry about, these are all advanced features, we won't worry about those. So we'll go ahead and we'll click save changes, and what we want to do now is we want to go to post just to see how this looks. And of course, you know, we just left this. We want to hover over, we want to click edit just to make sure our changes took hold, and they absolutely did. Now, when you see this, folks, from your Tiny MCE editor standpoint, it's simply because you haven't worked with text in a way to need to make that available. So don't really worry about that too much. Now we're going back to install plugins. So thus far, we have set up what we need from a basic plug-in standpoint, and we'll move on to the next setup section.